Okay, so finding the perpendicular of 2 points, or actually 4 points, 2 different lines from 4 points. Okay, so we want to find the last coordinate in one of the points in order to make these 2 lines perpendicular. Okay, so the very first thing we can do is find the equation for this line. Since this line we have 2 points, so all we need is 2 points for a line. Find the equation of the line. What do we need to do that with? How do we find the equation of a line? Y equals mx plus b. Right. So, but before we can do that, we need to find the slope.
The slope, yeah.
Yeah, flip it and smack it. Good. Flip it and smack it, or the slope. Good. So, in other words, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or just flip it and smack it. Okay? So, what that means is y is on top, x is down below. Okay? So I have 3 over 7 and 4 over 2. That's my flip. And then I smack. So I have 3, 4, 7, 2, and I smack and run. Okay? So now I have negative 1 over 5. And that is your m. Real easy. Bam. So, from that, now I use my y equals mx plus b. Okay? And I plug in my values. What values, though? So I like low numbers. So I'm going to choose this coordinate point because 2 and 4 I like better than 7 and 3. It's got lower numbers in it. That's all. Okay? So I plug in my x and my y. So I plug in 4 equals negative 1/5 x, which is 2, plus b. So now I have 4 equals negative 2 over 5 plus b. Yes, sir.
You got 4 equals negative 2 over 5. Times the...
So I times the 2 times the 1/5. You have to remember that's 2 over 1. So it's 1 times 5 and 2 times negative 1. Top against top, bottom against bottom.
Yep.
Okay? And now I'm going to add it to both sides. And what's nice here is because I'm adding plus 2/5 plus 2/5, it's real simple. It's 4 and 2/5 equals b. So there's my b. There's my m. Okay? So what that tells me is m is equal to negative 1/5. B is equal to 4 and 2/5. Okay? Remember, y equals mx plus b. Y equals negative 1/5 x plus 4 and 2/5. So that is my equation for that line. Okay? So that's the equation for that line. Now I need to find, oh what?
Your answer would be, well, if your equation, of course, is, so you would just, instead of that 7, 3, 2, 4, it's actually now y equals 1/5 x plus.
Yeah, this is the equation of a line.
Okay, now when you say x plus 4 3/5, like if you're finding it on your graph, like you're finding y on your graph, it would be negative 1/5.
If I'm finding y,
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're putting like a dot on y at negative 1/5.
well, here's the thing. If I plug in 7 for x, and I do the math, I should get 3 for y.
Okay.
That's what we're doing now. Now, as far as for over here, we don't know yet.
Yeah, we have to do the same stuff.
We have to, well, we have to do something a little different, but same. Okay? So, what we have to do over here, now this is what you do on the front part of the test, right? Where it says, okay, I give you a couple of points. Find me the slope. Boom. I give you a couple of points, find me the slope. Boom. I give you a couple of points, find me the equation of a line. Boom. Right? So that's going to be, you know, all the way through the test. Now it gets to a point, it says, okay, I give you a couple of points. Find me the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this line, but it goes through this point. Ah. So what do you got to do there? Same thing we're doing here. I'm going to find the equation of this line. That's my first step. My next step is take the point they gave me. Alright? Take the equation of this line. Okay? Now, ask yourself, what do you got to do? If it's parallel, the slope has to be the same. Right? So, the parallel slope, if m equals negative 1/5, then m parallel would equal what?
1/5.
If and only if m equals negative 1/5, then m parallel would equal negative 1/5. It has to be the same. Has to be the same. But we're not looking for the parallel. We're looking for the... And m perpendicular would equal what? The opposite inverse. So, you have to flip it and smack it. So, the perpendicular slope is going to be 5/1. Technically, 5/-1, and then I smack it, which would be negative 5/-1, which is just 5. Right? So, technically I flip it, and then I smack it. Because perpendiculars are opposite inverses . Okay? They are opposite inverses, so we flip them and smack them, whatever it is. Okay? If it was 2/3, now it's negative 3/2. If it was 4/5, now it's negative 5/4. If it was negative 1/3, then it is positive 3. You just flip it, smack it. Okay? So it was negative 1/5. Now, it's 5. What do we do now? Well, I know what the new equation is. The new slope The new slope is this. It's 5. So I have a slope. I have a point. I have my line. I just haven't built it yet, right? Y equals mx plus b. So I plug in my y is 8. My m is 5. My x is 7. And my b is b. And this one comes out nice and neat. 8 equals 35 plus b. So minus 35 minus 35 minus 27 equals b. I have my b. I have my m. If I have my b and I have my m, then I have the line that's perpendicular. My y perpendicular is equal to m, which is 5, x perpendicular plus b, which is negative 27. Therefore, y equals 5x minus 27. And that is the equation of the second line. The perpendicular line. The equation of the perpendicular line. Okay? But that's not the real answer to this question. Now that would be an answer to a question that's on the test. They give you a couple of points. They say, hey, I want the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this line, but goes through this point. That's what they're going to say to you. Okay? Great, we did it. But this question says a little bit more. It says, hey, yeah, I want all of that. But beyond that, I want to know what this point is. If this coordinate for x is 6, then what's u? Well, that, you just go one step further. If y equals 5x minus 27, and x is 6, then what is y? Or in this case, what is u? So you do the math. U equals 30 minus 27. U equals 3. Therefore, the point 6, 3. Voila. Okay? Not bad. Questions?
Where'd you get the 6?
Where'd I get the 6?
Now, you said y equals 5x minus 22.
I got the 6 right here.
Okay, you just plug that in, multiply?
Yep.
Right.
I just plugged it into the equation to the perpendicular equation. Right? Okay? Now, part 2 to this, I'm going to pause this. Okay?